What's going on, boys? It's your boy Max, and I got a fire video for you guys today. Now, I'm not too sure about what I'm gonna title this video. It's either gonna be how to get your ex back or how to get revenge on your ex. But that's gonna be the topic of today's video, and I got a crazy story to share with you guys. Now, those of you who have been following my channel and you've really watched some of my other storytime videos, you've heard me talk about one of the relationships that I've had back in high school, a long-term relationship that I've had with this girl who, in the beginning, she friend zoned me, and then I ended up doing some self-improvement. She came back, and we ended up getting into a long-term relationship. This is how to get your ex back. Every single ex in my life, every single woman that I've gotten out of a relationship with, has always came back in some sort of fashion. Whether they directly hit me up and ask to get back together, whether I catch them watching my stories, whether they just try to show up in my life somehow, some way. And I want you to know that they are always watching you. That's the first thing you must understand. They are always watching you. It may be months, it may be years, it may be almost a decade after you guys break up. They are always watching you. So let's just get right into the story, guys. So that girl who I've had a long-term relationship with back in high school, for those of you guys that don't really know what happened with this girl, long story short, I liked this girl back in freshman year of high school. She was one of the baddest girls in school. She ended up rejecting me and putting me in the friend zone, and I was in the friend zone with this girl for like a year, up until the point where I was like, this is enough. I don't want to be in the friend zone, and I got tired of her talking about other guys to me, and I cut her off. And I started doing some self-improvement on myself. I started maximizing my looks. I started dressing better. I started growing my hair out, and I started to get a lot more attention from girls in high school. And she's seen that, and she ended up coming back after I did the self-improvement. Now, little old Max, I took her back, right? Not took her back, but I ended up getting into a relationship with her. Now, I was aware of female nature, so I was playing my cards right, but I ended up still falling in love with this girl. And so when we broke up, this was already once we graduated high school, I got into a very dark spot of my life, right? I started going even deeper into the vices that I had. I started smoking more. I started drinking. I started going out on weekends. I started chasing women. And then quarantine happened, right? The world shut down. And that's when it got really bad. Not only did my vices get worse, my addiction to pornography and things like that got worse, but I stopped taking care of myself. I stopped getting haircuts, stopped trimming my beard, stopped working out, all of these things. And I was looking like a straight up caveman. I'm gonna put a picture of this. This is what I looked like after the breakup. That was my rock bottom, right? That was my rock bottom. And I realized that, hey, I can't live like this. I have so much more potential. I can't live like this. And so that was the moment where I decided to get back on my self-improvement for real this time, and I got into the best shape of my life. I improved my looks, I improved my social skills that I have killed with the vices previously, and now I'm in a position where I'm in the best shape of my life. I have an abundant dating life with high quality women, and I'm able to come on here and coach guys on how to do the exact same. But that's what happened with this chick. Now, mind you, I haven't spoken to this girl in 6 years, right? I don't have her on any social medias. I didn't even know she has social media, right? I've never seen this girl in the past 6 years, right? She moved away somewhere. And yesterday, I'm on my Instagram, guys, and I'm checking my notifications, responding to comments, and I see a familiar face liked one of my reels. And then I go to watch the reel that this familiar face liked, and it was a reel that I made about a story time of something that happened with my ex, right? The same girl that I'm speaking about in this video. And so I had a story time reel where I talked about something that happened with her, and I was like, that's kind of strange. The face that liked the reel looks like it looks like my ex, and it liked the reel that I made about my ex. And I was putting two and two together. So I go on the page, and it's like a private page, profile picture. I see her, but she looks a little different. I did a little bit more research. Turns out, yeah, that was my ex. That was the girl from high school who I fell in love with, who friend zoned me back in the day, and who I haven't spoken to in 6 years. Somehow, She found my Instagram. Somehow she found the reel that I made about her, well, about us, and then she liked it, right? I'm sure that somebody from my high school saw that reel and they shared it with her. And that's how she found it. Quite frankly, I don't really care how she found it. But the thing I want you guys to understand is that they will always come back. There was a point in time where I was hesitant about sharing like personal stories like that, like things that happened in past relationships on social media, because I knew like things like this would happen. I knew that all of my exes from the past, they end up stalking me somehow, some way, right? And they end up like watching my posts, and now it's like watching my content, which is kind of crazy. But I was like, oh, this is gonna be cringe. I'm talking about the relationship, like she's gonna think it's weird. But like, quite frankly, who gives a fuck, right? That's what I was telling myself. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm doing this for my business. I'm doing this to help guys out. I'm doing this to help out my clients. And so the only way I can come on here and be authentic and be my true self and grow my business and improve is if I'm authentic and I share the real stories with you guys. And it's hilarious because she ended up seeing it and liking the reel. But what I want to get at, guys, is that this isn't the only time that like an ex from my past has came back in some sort of fashion. In fact, literally like 3 weeks ago, I'm checking the story viewers on my stories, my Instagram stories, which I post like daily stories with tons of value. If you guys want to check that out, it's on my Instagram. But I'm going through the viewers and I see the last relationship that I was in, which was a rotation. It was 2 girls. And I see one of the girls' best friend is watching my stories. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, she doesn't follow me. I don't follow her. Like, why is she watching my stories all of a sudden? Couple minutes later, I see my ex, like her best friend from that rotation. She's also watching my stories. And so I figured, yeah, they're probably like together. They're probably talking about me. And so they're like going through my Instagram. Every single time that an ex from my past has came back to watch me or reach out to me, I'm always in a better position. I'm always in a better position than I left them or they left me in certain cases. There were certain cases where the girl broke up with me and I still had a glow up. I still did the self-improvement. And that's what you must understand. That is how you actually get revenge on your ex. I speak to a lot of guys, right? Coming out of breakups, trying to get back in the dating market. But some of these guys are still stuck on their ex. And they ask me, yo, Max, how do I get my ex back? How do I get revenge on my ex? This is how you get revenge on your ex. You level up. You make sure that when she watches you, because she will be watching you, she will scroll through that Instagram. She will scroll through your stories. She will ask people about you. When she taps in with you, you better make sure that you're a better version of yourself now than you were when you guys broke up. Because best believe, and this is a problem I see with a lot of guys happen, they neglect their online presence. They get out of a breakup, they neglect their online presence. They take a break from social media. Whole time they're still watching reels, right? They're still doom scrolling, but they don't post anything on social media, right? Or they post themselves being in worse shape, looking worse, looking rough, dressing worse, and just like in a worse position in life than they were before. And that's the worst position you could be in, because when she checks your page, she's going to see, oh, thank God I left that guy. Thank God I dodged a bullet. Because this guy, look where he's at now. He made no improvement. In fact, he just went back. He got even worse. He fell out of shape. He started doing more vices. He started having worse habits. Like, look at this guy now. Or you have no presence at all. She checks her page and she sees no new posts since the breakup. You know what that tells girls, guys? You may think that you're being mysterious. You may think that you're Mr. Bruce Wayne. Oh, I don't post on social media. I just consume content. Because you know you're consuming content, right? Don't act like you're not. Everyone's a consumer somehow, some way. So you're consuming content, but you're not creating it. And as a result, guys, everyone knows that social media is like a highlight reel, right? People post on social media what they want others to see. The nice fits, the vacations, the trips, right? The different locations that you go to. you getting in great shape, your workouts, whatever it may be that you're actually showing off. Everyone knows social media is a highlight reel, but guess what? She checks your page after a breakup, months after, years after, and you have nothing new. You're not posting stories, you're not posting photos. She's gonna be like, okay, this guy doesn't have any fucking highlights, and that's why he's not posting them. Listen, maybe you do have highlights, but if you're not posting them, that's the mindset they have. And it makes sense because people treat social media like a highlight reel. When people are doing good in life, they tend to post more on social media. As soon as you start doing worse, you post less, right? You start consuming more and creating less. You stop taking photos when you're out in public, right? You go to a birthday party, you're out of shape now, you've gained a couple pounds, your beard is looking rough, your facial hair is looking rough, like you have acne all over your face. People want to take a photo with you, you're like, nah, man. Or maybe you take that photo and you make sure that nobody tags you in it or nobody posts that photo of you online because you're embarrassed about how you look because you know damn well you digressed since that girl left you. That's the problem. You're not mysterious. You're not staying away from social media. You're still consuming content. The only reason why you're not creating it is because you know you're doing worse now. You know you're in worse shape. You know you're making less money. You know you're in a worse position in life. And if you're not, if you're watching this and you're like, yo, Max, I started making more money since I left that girl. I started getting in better shape since I left that girl. I started getting more attractive since I left that girl. I started taking more trips. That's great, bro. I'm happy for you. Post it. Post that shit online. That's how you make them come back. That's how you make them regret the decision that they made. Because revenge is sweet, right? Revenge is sweet. You don't have to do anything to hurt this girl, and you shouldn't. That's how you get revenge. Make sure that when she checks your page, you're in a better position. You're in better shape. She's not gonna know this unless you post it. You have to get into a habit of consistently uploading photos, videos, reels, carousels, photo dumps on your Instagram. This is just the age that we live in, guys. This is the age that we live in. Everyone's online. Word of mouth happens online. People don't even get together as much as they used to. You know, back in the day, people would gossip about you in person. Now they gossip about you online. Now they just share your posts. Now they just share your stories with other people in the group chat. They screenshot the photos that you take and they share in the girls' group chat. Oh, look, Max is on vacation. Oh, look, Max got in better shape. Oh, this and that. This is just the way word of mouth spreads. Nowadays, we live in the digital age, guys. If you're not posting on social media, specifically Instagram, you're not leveraging your looks, your physique, your lifestyle, your money, your resources, all of these things. If you're not leveraging it to the fullest potential, you're going to get left behind. Out of sight, out of mind. I don't care what it is. It all goes back to online. I always preach, yo, guys, you have to cold approach. You have to go out, right? You have to have that skill in your tool set to be able to approach any attractive woman that you want. But guess what? She's gonna want to see your Instagram. She's gonna want to see who you are. What type of status do you have? And you want to know why I'm so happy that like my exes are watching my stuff, why they're watching my stories, why they're going through my page, why they're asking about me. You want to know why? Not because I want to get back with them. And that's one thing I forgot to mention. You shouldn't even want to get back with your ex. You shouldn't want to get back with your ex because, yo, that relationship didn't work out for a reason. You should only be focusing on making sure that you're in a better position now for yourself. For yourself. Because if you're not the type of man that she would want to go back to, well, chances are then that means that you're doing worse now. That's why you need to self-improve, right? But the reason why I'm happy when these things happen, not that I need their validation, not that any of this, is it just because I know I'm doing better now. I know I'm doing better. That girl from my last relationship, the one that was a rotation, who her and her best friend have been watching my stories a couple of weeks ago. Haven't spoke to her in like a year, right? Last time that we spoke, my brand, my business was nowhere near as big. Now she checks my Instagram. Oh, Max is, yeah, his business is growing. Oh, he got how many followers? Oh, he's getting how many views? Like, not that that shit really matters, but I know where I'm going now, right? I know how many guys I'm inspiring now. And it's like, I know I'm in a better position now. Every single year, I get in better shape. Every single year, I get better looking. Guys, ever since that breakup from the girl who was the topic of this video, my ex from high school, ever since that breakup, ever since I hit my rock bottom, it's only been up. I've only got better looking, better in shape, better dressed, better habits, more money, more resources, like all of these things every single year since then. I've only leveled up. That's what I want for you. And that's what you're capable of. You shouldn't worry about getting your ex back. And when she comes back, because she will come back if you do this properly, if you get in better shape, if you take nicer photos, if you're able to actually present yourself well online and show off all the hard work that you made, don't take her back. You better not take her fucking back. But just know, you're doing better. You're doing better. You're leveling up. That's the beautiful part about it. That's how you get revenge on your ex. That's how you get your ex back. You should never have animosity towards your ex, right? Unless she did something like super, ridiculous, super bad to you, right? But, for me in all my relationships, like, yeah, I've got cheated on in the past. I've had relationships that didn't end on the best foot. But I've also had relationships that, we just kind of went our separate ways. And I have no animosity towards any of my exes because I know that I was at fault for certain things as well, right? And it's just simple as that. So when I say revenge, guys, all I mean is level up. Make sure they see a version of you that's doing better. And if you're a man that wants to improve his physique, that wants to learn how to leverage his lifestyle, his physique, his looks on social media so you can have a dating life of abundance, so that when your ex does check your page, she's not like, oh, this guy's in the same position that he was. Even if you're doing better, right? I have guys who come into my program who are already in great shape, who are already making a lot of money, but their social media presence doesn't exist. And like I said before, out of sight, out of mind. So with these type of clients, what I help them do is I help them take the life they've already built, take the product they built, which is themselves, and I help them market it in the best fashion on Instagram, on dating apps, so they can have higher quality options with more women. If this is something that you want to apply into your own life and you want to work with me directly one-on-one, you want to join my program, or you want to learn more about how the program actually works and how I can actually get you to that state where you are in the best shape of your life and you have the dating life that you want, there's going to be a link in the description below that I want you to click to book a one-on-one call with me. Just going to get to know your situation in further detail, and we're going to see if I can actually help you. If I can, if it all makes sense, then we'll get you on into the program and we're going to get you started. But if you have any questions about this whatsoever, about what type of photos to post to get your ex back, or what type of photos to post to improve your digital image, or how to actually leverage your physique in the right way, or how to even get the physique in the first place, any of these things that I spoke about in this video, if you have any questions whatsoever, you can shoot your message into my Instagram. I answer all of my DMs personally. The link is also in the description and it's pinned in the comments below. And we can just talk on Instagram and I'll help you out, right? I answer all of my DMs. But just know, guys, when you put in the work, that's the best revenge. But make sure they know you're putting in the work. I'm telling you right now, make it known. People say grind in silence. Yeah, there's a point in time where you should grind in silence. But once you're shining, shine, right? Don't dim your light, bro. I'm telling you right now, if you're shining, if you're in great shape, if you're making the money you want to make, if you're making more money every single year, if you're going on nice trips, If you've put in the work, shine, bro. Make them see it. Make them see it. Don't dim your own light, bro, because they will judge you by it. And if you truly want to have an abundant dating life, if you truly want to make the people who did you wrong regret it, you're going to have to make it known, okay? So that's all for today's video. I hope you boys enjoyed this one. This was a fun one to discuss and make. Make sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you boys real soon. Stay dangerous.